I have a few minutes between sessions now, so I figured I would answer this question that I get asked pretty often: how I got started with pet therapy. So, growing up, I always loved animals. I was obsessed with animals, particularly dogs. I love dogs, particularly the golden retriever. I had a couple of breeds that I loved, but goldens were always my number one. Also, probably could be from the movie Airbud. I don't know if you watched it, but if you did, you'll know what I mean. I fell in love with the breed and always wanted to be a vet. Actually, in my eighth grade graduation, it says there, all the students had to say what they would be in like 20 years from now or 10 years from now. So it was 20 years from now. So it said like in the year 2020, Avi Ben Mordechai is going to be, and I wrote veterinarian. And as I got older, I noticed that, vets really just deal with animals who are unwell and who are sick. And a lot of the times, there's some really sad stories that happen with the animals. So I didn't want to do that. But I figured out a way how to make it happen for me. In my first year of college, I decided to get a golden retriever, a puppy. And I didn't want her to be home all by herself all day long while I was at work. So I decided to make her a therapy dog. And I was definitely in for a surprise. I really did not know that it would have taken off the way it did. I never in my life envisioned that I would be living with so many animals. And I didn't even realize the therapeutic benefits. To be honest, it was something that I always wished that I can do, but didn't even know that a job like this even existed. So the fact that I was able to use my dog in practice with my clients in my internship, this was actually in my internship, and I noticed how much benefits the clients were receiving. I said, this is something so cool. And I actually was working at the time also in a nursing home. And one of the patients said, I really miss my cat. It would be so cool if you get a cat or if you have a cat. And I said, that's such an interesting idea. Let me get a cat. And then it was, I really love birds. And I said, you know what? I want to be able to connect with everybody. So let me go get a bird. And I got my first parrot. And then I got a bunny, Charlie, the bunny. And one after another, it kind of just grew from there. And at this point, now I live with so many different animals, and I really did it kind of for comfort. But then I noticed there were also so many people who were so afraid of all different types of animals, whether it was dogs or cats or even birds, and also the cockroaches and the tarantulas. And obviously, that I do exposure therapy with those animals. But in all honesty, I never envisioned my life living with cockroaches or tarantulas or all these other animals. But I saw that there was a need for it. So the more research I did, the more I learned, like, wow, I can really use this for therapeutic benefits to help people overcome their fears. And then I got into working with the horse because I noticed the research that I've done, how much horses can help people dealing with trauma and PTSD. So I got into that field. Every single day for me is definitely a blessing. I don't take it for granted. Sometimes it's like a pinch me moment every day when I see my animals. I'm like, is this even my life right now? How is this even possible? I take it one day at a time, and I'm definitely so blessed to be able to do this. I don't take it for granted. But that's how I started as a pet therapist. I started off really, really small. A lot of the times, other therapists reach out to me and say, hey, how did you do it? We also want to do it. So if you're a therapist and you think that this is something that you want to do, I would say, start off small, and also recognize this is a huge, huge, huge responsibility, with time, financially, also like the physical labor of it, having to clean up after them, having to care for them, having to make sure everybody is doing okay, and they're not sick, or they're making sure they have all their vaccines, and also to make sure that they're happy and that they're exercised and that they're entertained and that they're living their best quality of life. So definitely it's a lot, but I would say start off small. And it's the most incredible experience for me specifically. This is definitely not a lifestyle for everybody, but for me and for my family, we don't see any other way of living. We absolutely love it. So that's how I became a pet therapist.